Well, hello from our off-ship filming location. This always means there's news from Princess, doesn't it? So, a couple weeks ago, we found out that there was a huge shakeup happening at Princess Cruise Lines with the entertainment crew. It sounds like they received layoff notices with about 30 days preparation to reapply for their jobs. And this is like fleet-wide, from cruise directors down to all the entertainment crew. It sounded very drastic and like bad news for most of the fleet-wide mascots. And today the news came out that John Padgett is actually leaving Princess as well. And he is being replaced as president by the Holland America line president, who I guess was with Carnival Cruise Line for a long time and then has had a short stint with Holland. I've actually thought that John Padgett brought a lot of great innovation and change to Princess, most specifically the medallion, or most dramatically was the introduction of the medallion. I think that is a game changer industry-wide, but some of the things that happened under his leadership, like the Disneyfication of the cruise line, as I call it, where we had Fortuna Luck, those ridiculous desserts, which I will link to my video about those here. I know a lot of people like them and don't want to see them go, but my point on that is that if they had never been introduced, nobody would know that they were missing, and there was not a demand for them in the first place. So I just really did not enjoy some of those parts of the Padgett term. His focus on bringing families and children on board and having kind of like an amusement park type thing going on, I didn't like that. But I also don't want the cruise line to become the stereotype I have heard of with Holland America, where I believe the ships are basically asleep by 9 p.m. I think there is a culture and a style of cruising that Princess customers enjoy that was most effectively conveyed under Jan Swartz's leadership. And I hope that they can preserve or even restore some of that cruising style with this change-up, rather than moving toward being like Holland America or, God forbid, Carnival. I don't want Princess to become the Jaguar of cruise lines, where they just made the most ridiculous misstep trying to recreate a brand that already existed. The Holland America guy coming, sounds like there are high hopes from the people familiar with Holland America. I've never cruised on a Holland America ship, so I can't speak to what the actual experience is on board, but I have heard, and it just has a stereotype of being older, less lively, and I really don't want to see that come. Like, I don't want that to overcorrect from the youth focus and take us too far in the wrong direction. Princess is a well-established brand, a tier below something like Seabourn or Silver Seas, Regents, but it's pretty far up there in my opinion as far as like mainstream cruising goes. So if I were to sum it up, I have really disliked the Disneyfication of Princess. And I am not going to be upset to see these characters leave if that's what is part of the change-up. I think that they are insulting to the crew member in the costume. I don't know who on board gets very excited about seeing a costumed crew member. Having a Stanley the Bear walking around, that's cool. We do not need Fortuna Luck. We do not need whatever the pirate is walking around at the Irish pub on the Sun Princess. That was among one of the stranger new things that I saw on the Sun Princess. And the Champagne character, I believe he may stay because he's part of a show that they're doing during the Champagne Waterfall, but pretty much all of the theme characters could go and I would not miss them. They want couples, even couples without children, but younger people to come on board, and they really are tailoring toward that, and I think that's a good idea. It's a smart business decision, but I think that I don't know, maybe it wasn't Padgett who came up with the idea, but introducing Disney-type characters to draw in that market, I think was a mistake. They can draw us in with, like on the Sun Princess, there are really nice, comfortable seating, high-end finishes and decor and scenery. That's the type of thing that is going to bring a person like me on board, not having a weirdly dressed pirate in a fake wig walking around in the saloon. I don't understand where that came from. My last and most important note would probably be get your Plus and Premier packages now, because I have been dreading the day when the price will increase on them, and I believe any new leadership that comes in, especially with this guy, it sounds like he's previously worked with Royal Caribbean. So we may see some very drastic changes coming to the inclusion packages, the options, the pricing. If this guy had anything to do with how Royal Caribbean parts out the things you can buy a la carte, like internet, specialty dining, drinks packages, and then tax gratuities on top of the price that you pay, we could see some very undesirable changes coming in pricing. It's definitely another day of change for Princess. I wish the best for the company. I love cruising with Princess, and we will see what the new leadership brings. As I said, I think that John Padgett brought a lot of great innovation and change to the brand. There were a couple of missteps with the introduction of characters and the introduction of the desserts and the rollout of the Sun Princess. That was a disaster, most would say. I don't necessarily think that he is to blame. You know, at the end of the day, I guess his role has to take responsibility. But if the things that led to those mistakes aren't corrected, then replacing the president isn't going to achieve much. I just would like to see Princess go in the right direction, improving the service, improving the cruising experience, and leaning into what nostalgia we have over the Jan Swartz days, while building on the things that John Padgett accomplished for the company, like the medallion. That still has a lot of room to grow, and I think it is the future of the whole industry, not just Princess. Change is good. It's definitely difficult, and I am seeing a lot of positive sentiment about this. However, one thing I heard that I think is true is that sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. I am concerned that with the change in management and the change in entertainment, we may be entering a new era of higher prices and more expensive cruising. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited about the change? Do you feel like the president has that much of an impact? You're going to notice it on your next cruise, that there has been a shuffle in this level of management? Thank you to John Padgett for everything that he did. I think that Princess has a brighter future because of the things that he did with the cruise line. At the end of the day, even though I hate the desserts, and you can watch my video and get mad at me about it there, we will see. Happy cruising.